Hello everyone, my name is Dee. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be doing a quick little reading to see what your person thinks of you. So we'll be getting into what it is that they think of you and the connection that you share with them, as well as what it is that they admire about you. With that said, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, then it is not meant for you. For pile 1, we have goldstone. For pile 2, we have green aventurine. And for pile 3, we have amethyst. Hello there, my pile ones, my goldstone pile. Let's see what your person thinks of you. Again, we're taking a look at primarily what it is that they admire about you and what it is that they think of you and the connection that you share with them. So let's get into it, my pile ones. Okay, we start out with the Six of Swords. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Hierophant. And we have the Well. So, starting out with the Six of Swords being followed by the Six of Wands, I would say, or Four of Wands rather, Six of Swords followed by the Four of Wands, is that something that this person feels like is that you bring a lot of stability and security to their life, or you are generally somebody who is very stable and secure. So you might be somebody that is, actually for some reason, especially, I don't know if the Hierophant's bringing this up too, something that this person thinks of you is that you are very set in your ways, but that's not necessarily coming through as a negative. I feel like actually what part of that could be is that you're somebody who likes to keep yourself on some type of a schedule or routine. You might be a bit of a planner, etc., and so on. And in that way, it makes sense as to why this person feels like you bring a lot of stability and security into their life, because maybe they were never really quite a planner. Maybe there were times where I always forget the expression, but like whatever, like basically they could have been somebody that was either more spontaneous, less of a planner, a little bit disorganized, and they really like the way in which you have brought stability into their life. I also feel like in regard to this connection itself, like it's a stable and secure connection. They know where they stand with you. And that's really something that they both admire about you, because you are willing to let them know and you are open enough and expressive enough to let them know. And I also feel like they like that because they see a future with you, and the two of you perhaps have spoken about this future together. Let's move forward, or let's continue looking at the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords to me is going to bring up stability and security. It's going to bring up healing. It's going to bring up positive movement forward. I feel like in regard to who it is that you are as a person, this person, again, really admires the way in which you are a very stable and secure person, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, etc. And I feel like this person views you as being somebody who really has their stuff together. You're someone who, another thing too, I feel like, is with that Six of Swords bringing a positive movement forward, they could look at you as being somebody that's very successful. I feel like the Four of Wands and the Hierophant will bring that up as well. Like you're somebody that has a career path. You're somebody that's doing well within their career, etc. I feel like the Six of Swords is also going to bring up that you're somebody who always keeps it moving. Like you're not somebody that likes to dwell on things or hold grudges. You tend to move on and move forward. You move onwards and upwards whenever you can. That Four of Wands is again going to bring up stability and security. It's also going to bring up things like happy family and like building a stable life together, building a happy life together. And I feel like this person thinks that that is where the two of you are heading. They really do feel like this connection has, and this relationship has the ability to continue onward and upward together. I feel like the Four of Wands could also be an indication that your person views you as being somebody, again, who's very stable and secure. You've got your stuff together. The last thing I perhaps want to say about the Four of Wands is the prosperity messages that will come from this card as well. When we move forward to the Hierophant to me is going to bring up love, marriage, and commitment. So again, we get this indication that this person really feels like you are somebody who is not only committed to them, but that they want to commit to you. I feel like between the Four of Wands and the Hierophant, we get very strong indications of having similar core values. This person thinks that you are on the same page about many of the things that are going to allow for this relationship to continue to remain stable and secure, and to continue to remain happy and healthy. They feel like you share, perhaps even in this regard, like the Hierophant will bring up traditional values. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that both of you share traditional values. Maybe for some of us, yes, us and our partner do share those traditional values, and that's something that's, making this relationship more stable and secure, etc. But for a lot of us, it could really just be that we share a lot of the same values with our person. And that is something that's allowing for this relationship to maintain happy and healthy. It's also allowing for your person to see that there is a very strong potential for a long-term relationship here because of how much so the two of you are on the same page. I feel like when it comes to the Hierophant and what it is that this person's thinking about the connection is they feel like the two of you are very loyal to one another. They feel like the two of you are very committed to one another. If we're not quite yet in a commitment with this person, I feel like that is something that's coming soon. Like we get this progression of the Six of Swords, positive movement forward. The stability and security of the Four of Wands. Again, even the Six of Swords will bring up that message. It just feels like to me we're moving forward in the right direction with this person, and this person sees a very long-term, healthy, happy, stable, secure, loyal, and faithful partnership between the both of you. And then we end with the Well. And the Well, to me, in regard to how this person views you, is they're going to view you as somebody who is very empathetic, that you're somebody who is also, even when it comes to that stability and security, I'm going to bring up mental and emotional stability and security again with the Well. Like you're somebody that's capable of processing your emotions. You're somebody that's capable of sharing your emotions. And you never really do it in a way where it feels like an attack to them. You're able to express yourself and they are able to express themselves openly and freely, which I feel like is so, so, so important. I feel like the Well is going to bring up basically that another thing too is the Well will also bring up, it has messages attached to it, I believe, of being like a creator or an innovator. And I feel like your person views you again as somebody who works very hard, that you're somebody that's very successful and you've created a life for yourself. Like even in the commitment of the Hierophant, you're somebody that, let's say, is very committed to, like you are very committed to yourself. You've always been perhaps very committed to like working hard and getting what it is that you want in life. And that's something that this person very much so admires about you. This person admires the fact that you've created such a beautiful life for yourself, and I feel like this person's looking forward to the two of you creating a beautiful life and partnership with one another. When it comes to how this person is thinking of the connection when it comes to the card, the Well, this person really has this, I always describe it as a well of emotions, in the sense that your person feels very strongly connected to you, and they feel like the bond between the both of you is just getting deeper and stronger the more that the two of you are together. Now, we are going to pull some cards from this oracle deck that I like to use in these readings. I forgot the name of it. I feel like I never know the name of it. But I like this deck when it comes to what somebody's thinking of you. Okay, we start out with the Wise Woman of Wonderland with integrity and compromise. And with that said, this person would view you as being somebody who is very wise. This person would view you as being somebody who's very honest. And when it comes to that compromise message, I feel like compromise is so important within a relationship. Like this person views you as being someone, like this, I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, because it's a positive. But something that I got from that is, and then some of these earlier messages, especially when it comes to stability and security and how this person views you as being somebody who's stable and secure in so many different realms, is that your person feels like you are somebody who's very reasonable. And I feel like that is a very positive message. And I feel like what that perhaps relates back to is that your person hasn't always been with people who were reasonable. Your person hasn't always been with people that were stable and secure. And I feel like in this relationship between you both, your person's really feeling like they have a partner. It's kind of like, it goes into like, this person feels like they finally have a partner who actually wants to be with them. This person feels like they have a partner who is, finally willing to do what it takes to have a happy and healthy relationship. Like this person really feels like you put a lot of effort into this connection or into this relationship. And I feel like they also match that effort and that energy. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. But I do feel like maybe for some of us, we are privy to the fact that our person hasn't always had the best relationships in the past. And now this connection or this relationship that's building between you both, or that has been building between you both throughout time, is really one of the healthiest relationships that they've ever been in. I hope that makes sense for some of us, maybe serves as confirmation for some of us. But let's get at least 2 more cards out here. And of course, it fell straight to the floor, so I'm going to pause real quick. And the card that dropped to the floor was the Winged Wise Ones with angelic help, miraculous aid written on the card. So I'm not gonna, the one thing that I definitely want to focus on is the fact that we have the Wise Woman of Wonderland and then the Winged Wise Ones jumping out right after each other, because that's going to show that this person thinks that you're somebody who is very wise, that you're somebody who is, I'm going to say, like, very smart, very intelligent. You're somebody that it's like, what I like with this type of message is you're somebody that where the two of you see eye to eye on a lot of things. Like, let's say when it comes to core values, the two of you see eye to eye. But there's also a lot of times where you're both able to give one another perspective that the other person is lacking. You're able to come to one another for advice, and really get a broader perspective of what it is that you need to know in order to have more clarity about your situations. So the wise message, I feel like, is something that this person feels about you. Maybe they've even told you that you are very wise, whatever the case might be. The angelic help and the miraculous aid, I feel like, brings up a message that we haven't exactly seen yet, which is that, well, we did kind of see it with the well, because it brought up empathy and how you're really good at processing your own emotions, and then that empathy, you're really good at, empathizing with other people and whatever it is that they are going through. Your person does see that as being a huge positive quality that you have. They find you to be somebody who is very helpful to others, or maybe you even work in a career path where you are helping others in some type of way. And when it comes to that miraculous aid, I feel like that's an indication of, at times, of course it could have something to do with our career path, like maybe we work in healthcare, maybe we are a therapist or a counselor, or whatever the case might be. But I also feel like the miraculous aid aspect to that, especially if it doesn't have anything to do with our career path, is that we are someone who is very selfless. Like, we put ourselves out there and we're helping others, whether we're donating time or money, whether we are, physically helping others in some type of way, whatever the case might be. You do it either without being asked, or you put yourself out there constantly and consistently to help other people. And I feel like that has a lot to do with you being someone who's selfless, and that has a lot to do with you being somebody who has a lot of empathy for others. Oh, and we got another card right away. We have the High Lady of Love and Compassion, reverence, kindness, and consideration. That consideration message on that card actually brings me back to perhaps even the reasonable message that we got earlier. You're somebody that's very considerate, and you're considerate of other people's feelings. You're considerate of other people's thoughts when it comes to compromising. You know, you are just a highly considerate person, and that's something that your person very much so values about you. The High Lady of Love and Compassion is again going to bring up compassion, empathy, sympathy. You know, like you're somebody who is really, yeah, I feel like overall you're somebody who's very kind-hearted, and that's something that your person, again, admires about you. Just overall, you are a very kind-hearted person. This person has a lot of things that they deeply admire about you, and I feel like this is where we will end this reading. Thank you so much, Pile 1, for allowing me to do such a lovely little spread, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend. Hello, Pile 2. My green aventurine pile. Let's take a look at what your person is currently thinking of you and of the connection that they share with you, as well as a very deep look at what it is that they admire about you. Okay, my pile 2s, let's see. Oop, a card looked like it wanted to come out, but it did not jump out. Let's see, pile 2. We've got the 8 of Pentacles, the Artist, we've got Strength, and we have the 4 of Wands. So right away, something that I feel like could be happening here for some of us, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. If it does not resonate with you, it is not meant for you, pile 2. But starting out with the 8 of Pentacles and sort of, I guess, let's say the evolution of the cards that that jumped out afterwards, I feel like for some of us, we might be working on things when it comes to this connection or when it comes to this relationship that we have with our person. The 8 of Pentacles to me is going to bring up hard work and dedication. And of course, this hard work and dedication for those of us that haven't been having issues with our person could just be an indication that this person feels like you are somebody who's willing to put in the work when it comes to maintaining a happy and healthy relationship. So of course that could be it for a lot of us, but for some of us, we might have been recently having issues, and us and our person are really trying to work on things, and they really appreciate the effort that you are also putting into the relationship. Okay, and I feel like that message also goes across the board, but I feel like maybe for some of us, we've been having issues of some sort with our person, but we are working on things, and us working on things and them working on what they need to work on is something that is very much so improving the quality of the relationship that we have with them. And I feel like that's huge because it's both of your efforts that are allowing for this connection to begin to flourish. So I do hope that that makes sense. For those of us that, again, we haven't been having any issues, I still feel like this person really appreciates the fact that you are also putting effort into the relationship. They don't feel like it's all on them. You know, like they feel like you're putting effort into it. They feel like you want to be there. They feel like the two of you are really working on maintaining, I would say, very healthy communication with one another. You know, like the communication between the both of you is very strong. That 8 of Pentacles to me, as far as how this person views you and what they think of you, what they admire of you, they really feel like you are somebody who is extremely hardworking. Like they feel like you are somebody that's very committed to what it is that you do for work. And with the Artist next to it and the 8 of Pentacles at times representing a craftsman or a craftswoman, it could be a strong indication that you are perhaps somebody who is very creative, or you have a more so creative career path in some way, shape, or form. So if you do create art of some sort, doesn't matter what it is, this person very much so admires that quality about you. They admire your creativity, is how we could put it. But they also really admire the fact that no matter what it is that you are doing, you put in your best effort in order to see, and not only do you put in your best effort, but they have seen your hard work and your effort pay off. They view you as being somebody who, you know, really utilizes their skill sets in order to make positive movement forward, in order to reach their goals, in order to advance within your career, whatever the case might be. When we move forward to the Artist, The Artist is a card which first and foremost could indicate that this person views you as being somebody who's very idealistic. However, with the Eight of Pentacles and how grounded the Eight of Pentacles is, you're somebody that is able to take your ideas and ground them in reality. You're not somebody that, let's say, or that your person views you as being somebody that doesn't just have a whole bunch of ideas that they never follow through on. Your person has seen you perhaps throughout time take an idea and really be able to work on whatever it is practically in order to make that idea or that dream or that wish of yours come true. You know, they see how much effort you put into everything across the board within your life, whether it's your relationship with them, whether it's your career, whether it's your responsibilities, whether it's a goal, whether it's toward family or friends. They honestly, I would say, view you as being somebody who is very responsible, and that's something that they admire about you. You know, they see how much effort you put into everything that you do. The Artist, again, as far as what it is that they admire about you, is going to bring up your creative nature. You know, they find you to be somebody who is very creative. They're very inspired by you. We move forward to the Strength card. The Strength card will bring up confidence, and it will bring up emotional vulnerability. And I feel like something that they think of you in regard to the connection is that, again, for me, for some reason, between these cards, really just all of them as a whole, is bringing me that the communication between the both of you is very strong. And with that communication comes emotional expression and emotional vulnerability, and they really appreciate the way in which you have opened up to them. And they have felt very comfortable and confident in opening up to you. One of the other things when it comes to the Strength card, as far as what this person thinks of you, is that this person finds you very physically attractive. You know, this person definitely thinks you are good looking, and they are very much so attracted toward you. And I do feel like there's a lot of affection and attraction and chemistry that takes place within this connection. I also feel like between this mixture of cards, there could be an indication that the emotional and the physical intimacy between the both of you is very strong. The last thing that I want to say, I guess, when it comes to Strength and how it is that they think of you and think of you in regard to this connection with them, is that they do feel like the two of you are able to talk to and confide in one another. You know, they feel like the two of you are really able to express yourselves, and this person, again, feels very comfortable and confident in doing so. And lastly, as far as what they think of you, they do view you as being somebody who is very confident. That you're someone who has a lot of self-worth, and you know what you are worth, and you are constantly propelling yourself forward when it comes to work or goals, because they see that you know that you are deserving of the best, and then they see you go out there and get the best of the best for yourself. We move forward to the Four of Wands. This person views you as being somebody who's very successful and very prosperous. They view you as being somebody who has their stuff together. They view you as being somebody who's very stable and secure in a multitude of ways. And they view you as being someone who they can have a very stable and secure life with. I feel like this person thinks that you are someone who is, again, very successful at what they do. Even if we have hobbies that are creative, they feel like you are, you know, let's say amazing at whatever it is that you create. So even if we're on a different career path and our career path isn't exactly creative in nature, this person feels like you're somebody who's very successful in really anything that you do. It has that vibe of this person feeling like you are able to achieve anything that you set your mind to, and they've seen you do it time and time again. I feel like when it comes to that Four of Wands and what they think of you and what they think of the connection, they really do feel like you are someone who they will have a very happy and healthy life with. You know, they view you as being somebody that they are going to settle down with. And I feel like for some of us, we could very well already be in a stable and secure commitment with this person. Let's get a couple of oracle cards out here in order to see more of what your person admires about you. And we start out with the Camel Boy. Small steps and asking for help. I feel like that's really interesting here because we have all those messages from the Eight of Pentacles that was like they see you put effort into everything that you do. They know that you have a lot of ideas or idealizations, and they admire that, and they also feel inspired by that, but they have seen you take the steps that you need to take in order to ground those ideas in reality and bring them to life. And I feel like that could be what part of the small steps is representing here. They've seen you take a larger goal. And of course, this might be confirmation more so for some of us, just based on how long it is that maybe some of us have known this person. But I feel like for those of us that this acts as confirmation or this resonates with you and is making sense, this person has been in your life for a period of time in order to see you do this, maybe even do that more than once. And they really appreciate / admire the way in which you are able to bring your goals to life by perhaps creating something like SMART goals, small, manageable, attainable, realistic, time-based goals. They've seen you, again, set your mind to something and achieve it. When it comes to the asking for help, this could be an indication that you are somebody who is very helpful and gracious in that way, but I also feel like something that this person admires about you is that you're willing to ask for help when you need it. You're very clearly independent based on, the Eight of Pentacles, even based on the Four of Wands. You've got these things going for you for yourself. But your person appreciates the fact that you do ask for help when you need it. You're not somebody that tries to take it all on their own. And I feel like that leads back to the strong communication between the both of you. This person knows what is on your mind because you are comfortable and confident enough to express to them what is on your mind. And this person knows that if you're ever struggling with something or if you ever need help with anything, that you do feel comfortable enough to open up to them and let them know what it is that you need in that moment. And I feel like that speaks a lot to maybe what it is that they've been through in the past. Maybe they've been with people that were closed off. Maybe they've been with people that were guarded, or people that let things get to a certain level. Like even let's say like a certain level of negativity within the connection before expressing the way in which they were really feeling. And I feel like with you are very open and honest, and the two of you work on things and resolve things more so in the moment instead of letting things build up. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. That could act as confirmation for some of us. Let's get at least one or two more cards out here. We have the Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. Generally, what that card is going to represent to me is that you are somebody who this person is able to have a lot of fun with. There's a lot of joy. There's a lot of fun. The both of you perhaps have a lot of the same hobbies. Maybe even for some of us, we have or we share the same artistic types of hobbies. And that's where that joyful activity comes in. But I do feel like there's perhaps a lot of compatibility. There's similar interests. There could be similar or the same hobbies that the two of you enjoy. The celebration of life, I feel like, could be a strong indication that you're somebody who is very positive and optimistic. And they definitely view you as being somebody who's very abundant. They see how dedicated and devoted you are, how hardworking you are, how much effort you put into literally everything. And they see how much that pays off for you with the prosperity and the stability and security of the Four of Wands. Let's get one last card, my pile twos. And speaking to that, we have the Diamond Dreamer, material wealth and true prosperity. I feel like this card is kind of amazing when it comes to the dreamer, and then we have the artist, and the artist will bring up idealism. And again, yes, we're idealistic, my pile twos, but we have no problem grounding those ideas in reality. And that's where we get that material wealth. So I feel like this sums up some of the messages that we got from that Eight of Pentacles and artist combo. I feel like this person views you as being somebody who's truly prosperous, and they very much so admire your work ethic. They admire what it is that you create. They admire how successful you are, and they admire the fact that you continue to achieve. I really, really, really hope that this makes sense, my pile twos. Thank you so, so, so much for allowing me to do such a lovely little spread, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend. Hello, my pile threes, my amethyst pile. Let's take a look at what your person is currently thinking about you and the connection that you share with them, as well as what it is that they admire about you. Okay, let's see. What does your person think of you? We start out with the King of Cups, the Fool, we had the Star jump out, and we have the Nine of Cups. So first and foremost, starting with the King of Cups, I feel like this person, when it comes to what it is that they think of you and think of the connection, it could be a strong indication that they really feel a strong, close emotional bond with you. Now, as confirmation for some of us, with the Fool jumping out right after, this could be an indication that maybe this connection or this relationship started off as something more casual at first. Could very well still be casual if we are still at the beginning stages of this relationship with them. But this person feels a deeper emotional connection or bond with you. They really feel like the bond between the both of you is growing and strengthening. And when it comes to what it is that they think of you and what they admire about you, they really admire the way in which you are able to hold space for them. They feel like you are somebody who they can express themselves around. And I feel like when it comes to that King of Cups, there's a strong indication that for some of us, this person's feeling things for us that they've never really felt before. Like this person is really falling for us. This person feels like the bond between us both is getting stronger. This person is, very loyal to us. This person thinks of you as being somebody that's very loyal as well. Just all in all, they feel like this connection or this relationship is going forward in the right direction. Now, the Fool, it can represent casual or non-committal relationships, which is why I stated some of us might be in a casual relationship with this person right now, or we could have started out that way, and maybe at this point we are now exclusive with this person. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. The Fool is also representative of new beginnings, and it's representative of taking leaps of faith. And I feel like, again, going back to the King of Cups, this person, and one of the ways in which they think of you and think of this connection, is in this sense of they've never really felt anything like this before. They've never really had a relationship like this before, or a connection like this, the way that they have with you. And they do feel like this is a new beginning in love for them, and it's one that they are continuing to take leap of faiths when it comes to it. Like they're continuing to move the connection forward or make positive movement forward in that way. The Star is a card when it comes to romantic relationships, which can represent us deepening the level of commitment within this connection. Therefore, I will say, to see the Fool, this casual, non-committal Fool, in the middle of the King of Cups, which is about bonds deepening, and the Star, which can be about a connection or a relationship moving forward to the next level of commitment, there's a strong indication that if we are, or if we had started out as casual or non-committal with this person, that we are going to begin to move forward toward an exclusive relationship, a committed relationship, etc. So I do feel like there's a lot of positives here for people that are hoping for their, let's say friends with benefits or situationship, or maybe even for some of us it's a friendship right now where we're really looking forward to, and this person is looking forward to, deepening the level of commitment within this connection and moving things forward. When it comes to what this person thinks of you, as we're looking at the Star, this person really feels like you are someone who is, let's say for some of us, could be very creative in nature. You're somebody who also is, again, this is something new to this person. And in some ways, you're changing their perspective on love, or you're changing their perspective when it comes to romantic relationships. And I feel like part of that could also come from the Fool. Like the Fool, for me at least, will represent a fair level of fun. Like it's a fair level of we're having fun here. We're enjoying ourselves. There's something to celebrate. And I feel like maybe that's even a way in which this person's never really experienced a relationship before. Like they've never experienced the fun that they are able to have with you, along with this deep emotional bond or connection that they are also building with you. And I feel like when it comes to the star for me, the big keywords are creativity, healing, and spirituality. Not only that, but she will bring up hope and faith. And it just makes me feel like this person genuinely feels like this connection is one of a kind, or they feel as though this connection is one where they're able to have fun with you, and they're also able to build a relationship with you and a long-term, stable, secure commitment with you. I don't know, there's just part of this that's coming through for me here where this person hasn't really ever felt this way about someone before. Like messages that are kind of cheesy like that, like this person's never felt this way before. This person really feels like you're either healing their perspective on love, like whatever the case might be. It just feels like to me that this person is very excited about where this connection is going. This is a connection unlike one that they've ever experienced. They're excited for the fun and excitement that takes place within this connection, but they're also seeing how their feelings for you are growing and evolving. It just feels like for them that this relationship has it all. And when we move forward to that Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups is indicative of wish fulfillment. And that just leads me to say again that this person really feels like they have found what they are looking for. What this person thinks of you and the connection that the two of you share, they feel like, let's say they can stop looking because they've found fulfillment within their love life. They feel like they have found the one, or that they have found their person. When it comes to the Nine of Cups and how this person thinks of you, what it is that they admire about you, this person really admires the fact that you are somebody who's very abundant. They admire the fact that you're somebody who does place a focus on personal enjoyment. You're somebody who, gives back to themselves and gives back to others. I feel like overall, this person views you as being someone who is I want to say they view you as being somebody who's very emotionally mature, and that will come from the King of Cups. But they also find you to be somebody who's carefree and spontaneous and enjoys themselves. They view you in a couple of different lights, and all of those lights are positive. I feel like this person could view you as being the life of the party, and at the same time, this person will also view you as being someone who they trust the most and can trust anything with, and they will come to you for advice or to confide in you or to express themselves. I feel like with the Star, this person does view you as being someone, for me it's coming through as maturity. Again, I guess emotional maturity is one way in which I could say it. Like your emotional maturity is something that this person very much so admires about you. And with that Nine of Cups, they view you as being someone who is very successful. You're somebody that's figured out how to, even like for some reason it's bringing me to work-life balance for some reason, but it's like you're somebody who's figured out how to, do what it is that they need to do, but also knows how to enjoy themselves. It reminds me of that kind of thing where it's along the lines of you're somebody that, you're somebody that can have fun, but you're somebody that knows when to get serious. That's kind of the vibe that it brings up. But your person admires you very much, and they seem to be very hopeful about the direction that this connection is heading in. They feel like this is a new experience for them in love, and that they've never really experienced a connection like the one that they have with you. So I do hope that makes sense. We start out with the High Lady of Love and Compassion with reverence, kindness, and consideration. I feel like that love and compassion definitely comes via the King of Cups, but also from the Star. I feel like it's an indication of you being somebody who's very kind-hearted. I feel like it's an indication of you being somebody that's very sympathetic, empathetic. You're somebody that is very emotionally mature. Even in that regard, this came up, I don't remember if it was for pile 1 or pile 2. But something that came up for them was how you're someone who's very capable of processing your emotions, handling your emotions, etc. Again, that adds to the emotional maturity message, but at the same time, they very much so admire the fact that you are someone who is or seems to be very in control or very emotionally grounded. You know, you're very emotionally balanced, etc. The reverence, the kindness, the consideration, they view you to be somebody who is like, one thing that I feel like comes through here perhaps is they view you, let's say that I was going to say they don't view you to be selfish, and I feel like the opposite of selfish is selfless. So they view you to be somebody who is very selfless. You know, you're thinking of other people outside of yourself, and especially within this connection, you might be someone who's constantly, you know, either it for some of us, of course, it could be that there's been times where we've been trying to get this person to open up to us more, and they feel like you've been very considerate of their feelings, and you have created this safe space for them to be more open and more expressive with you. Let's get another card or two out here. We have the Lady of Lightning. Surprises, sometimes shock, and total paradigm shift. What I love with this card is it kind of reminds me of the Fool in a sense, where those same messages that come from the Fool. Like, we get the super emotionally balanced, chill King of Cups. We have the Star, and the Star is idealistic, and the Star is hopeful and about faith and positivity. But then we get the Fool, and even the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups, at times, the Nine of Cups is all about pleasure. And I feel like this person really appreciates the fact that you have all of these different facets. You know, like, you have all of these different aspects to your personality. You know, you're somebody that they can have a serious conversation with. You're somebody that they can laugh with. You're somebody that they can party with. You're somebody that they can just, you know, hang out with and chill and snuggle and cuddle and just have a quiet day to yourselves. And I feel like this person, and I also feel like too, like, different aspects of your personality are coming out. Okay, I just wanted to pause real quick while a plane flew overhead, but this person is seeing all of these different facets of your personality come out the more that the two of you get to know one another. And this person is really appreciating and admiring all of these different sides of who it is that you are. And not going to lie, while I was paused, I also looked up what total paradigm shift means. And upon Googling it, which if you've ever gotten a personal reading from me, or if you've heard one of my Patreon readings, I am constantly Googling things in the background. And a paradigm shift is a major change in the worldview, concepts, and practices of how something works or is accomplished. That leads me back to saying, something that I was discussing earlier, where when it comes to this person, this is a new beginning for them in love. There's ways where you have, you know, let's say, healed or changed their perspective on love or how a relationship is supposed to be. So I feel like that total paradigm shift literally flows so nicely into something that came up much earlier in this reading, which was you changing their perspective or perception on love and relationships, which is so beautiful to see here. Now let's get one last card out here. And we have the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, another thing that came out before, selflessness. Okay, selflessness, humility, and conscious action. I feel like that conscious action speaks to us taking, you know, divine inspired action towards something that it is that we want. This person feels like you are somebody, like you do things with intention. And that's something that this person admires about you. When it comes to gratitude and service, when it comes to the selflessness and the humility, your person really feels like you are someone who is incredibly selfless. They feel like you are someone who is very humble. And those are two other things, let's say, that this person very much so admires about you. Thank you so much, my pile threes, for allowing me to read for you today. I really hope that this short, sweet little reading resonated with you. Thank you so much, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend.